a journey that led to the death of 5 people. Despite having so much experience and skill, why did these 5 friends make this small mistake that led to their death? In today's video, we will tell you such a story in which 5 friends travel to the snowy mountains and they lose their life because of a small mistake. What was the mistake? Go to this video. April 8, 2017, Eric and a hiking group of 5 others were on their way to the top of Mount Harvey. And it wasn't long before Eric told everyone that he was pretty tired and needed to rest for a few minutes. So the rest continue on their journey. The remaining 5 members agree and move on, leaving Eric alone. But what did they know that these steps are going to be their last steps? Mount Harvey, an area of Lions Bay in the Canadian province of British Columbia, is 5,120 feet, 150 meters above sea level, and its top offers breathtaking views. That is why people are crazy to go to the top of this mountain. There are many ways to go to the top of this mountain, but the total way to go to the top of this mountain through these ways becomes about 12 kilometers. And as you go up, the tree line will disappear, and everywhere you can hear and see will. Even the last kilometer is very difficult and steep, and there is no tree line, due to which one has to face severe weather and strong winds which no human can withstand. The best season to visit this mountain is from June to October, but the group starts climbing in April, a season when the mountain will be covered in snow everywhere. And the weather will be so bad that nothing can be seen in front. Depending on the weather, it decides what kind of equipment is needed to deal with which hazards. Now, if the weather is bad, a person can get stuck in a snow story. Visibility will also be zero, nothing will be seen, and if they fall from anywhere, the person will easily go down 1,000 feet. Thankfully, out of the 6 people in the group, 3 were from a club, and the remaining 3 people belonged to another club, and they had more experience. And those people had climbed such climbs before, and every week, some of these people were on some trail. In the van cover area, when Eric told everyone to keep going, I took a breather. So he told everyone that don't wait for me, go without me, I will join you guys in a little while. Everyone else left for the top of the mountain. The summit of Mount Harvey is very unique and can be easily identified from a distance. Due to its top, there is a chasm just north of Mount Harvey, which is 600 meters deep. And because of this gap, many people are also afraid Eric was just resting from this mountain when he suddenly saw a solo hiker coming towards him. Who was coming towards him? And Eric approaches him and starts talking to him. The solo hiker asks Eric, "Why are you sitting here?" So Eric says he's fine, just breathing for a while, and his group has just gone a little further, and he's following them in no time. After hearing this, the hiker says goodbye to Eric and starts walking on the same path that Eri's group had taken. After a while, Eric feels that he has rested enough and should go. So he also starts moving towards the top. Soon he is at the top, but is very confused by the scene he sees there. Not a single member of his group sees him there, and only the hiker who had just passed by it a while ago is visible. He looks at Eric nervously and tells him very sadly that his comrades have fallen down from here. Both were scared, and immediately they start checking their mobile phones, but there is no signal at such a height. Now the 2 look at each other, wondering what to do as the emergency services cannot be called. After thinking for a while, when both of them don't find any other option, they go back to somewhere else and get a signal. But in search of signals, they come down from the mountain, and then they get the signal. They call the emergency services immediately, and they begin to think that it is very difficult to escape from the side on which they have fallen. Emergency services are called at 4 p.m., and within an hour, the rescue teams start their rescue mission. Eric knew that falling from Mount Harvey meant losing his life, but still he was hoping that somehow his 5 companions would still be alive and waiting for someone to rescue them. More than 40 people participated in the rescue mission, including 2 helicopters and search dogs. Who would have long sought the hiker on Mount Harvey? But it was becoming very difficult because of the weather. In the meantime, everyone is alerted that the mission will be postponed and restarted tomorrow. The next day at noon, 4 hikers are identified, but on arrived it seems that these people are no longer alive. Their belongings, such as snowshoes and hiking gear, can be seen scattered next to their bodies. In no time, the last hiker was also identified, but unfortunately, he too was not alive. After informing their families that the mission was over, the bodies are given to them. But everyone was bothered by the same thing, that why it happened. Even though these people had so much experience, why did this accident happen? No formal investigation was even carried out, because the mountain experts knew what had actually happened. As the group leaves Eric and moves on, they walk on the snow as they make their way to the top. That at one point on the way, everyone stops to see a view. The beauty of this view was so great that no one could miss it. Meanwhile, these people started walking on a lodge which was on the north side of the mountain, with only a ditch below it. None of them had any idea what danger they were dealing with. At that time, everyone was standing on a thing called a cornice. A cornice is actually a large piece of ice that looks like part of a mountain, but there is nothing beneath it, and if the weight becomes too much, it breaks. Even if you are standing on the cornice, you will feel as if you are standing on the ground, so it is very difficult to detect. A few days ago, a report was written on a popular hiking website that hikers should be careful when visiting Mount Harvey, because a large number of cornices have been built on it, so when the group was on the cornice, due to the heavy weight, that part of the ice broke, and with its collapse, all of them fall into a 1,600-foot, 500-meter deep chasm. It can be thought that there was snow at the bottom too, but falling from such a height and falling on anything would be fatal. On that day, the base point where the group landed was EVA launched, which has hard ice. When the group fell down, they landed on solid ground, breaking their bodies. Another hiking member, who was supposed to be with the group that day, could not join them due to ill health, and he was all set to go, but suddenly his mood changed, and that's why his life was saved. Friends, I hope you liked today's video. If you liked the video, please share your opinion in the comments section below. So see you in the next video with a new interesting video.